Hey guys, this is your favorite neighborhood gambler, Moss Money. Thanks for clicking on my video. If you're into gambling, if you're into winning money at gambling, hell, if you love talking Eagles, this is the channel and the videos for you. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, tell a friend to tell a friend, and enjoy the shows today. Believe it or not, everybody was in uniform. Paul George, Maxey, and Embiid, our big three was there. But here is where it gets interesting. If you haven't heard, you probably heard it's been on everywhere, especially here in local Philadelphia news. There was a players meeting. I think coaches were there, but mostly a players meeting where players were talking behind closed doors. I'm gonna say it was just a players meeting, players only meeting. And Tyrese Maxey called out the big fella and said, "Yo, bro, you're not holding your weight.
Mm.
You're late to things. You are not being what we need as a leader, pretty much." And just kind of just say, "Hey, like we need you to be better because we're only going to go as far as you take us. And if you're late to everything, that means you're disrespecting the coaches and the people who put the time in, and that you really just don't give a shit." And he could be on that tip too. You know what I mean? Like he really could. I mean, especially with some of the questions and the things that how he answered with the media. So I think there's a lot to take away from that. First, I think right now, from what we are hearing today, like the media kind of blew this one out of proportion. Like it's not as, I guess, maybe they're doing damage control, but it's not as big a deal that it's been on throughout all of media, social media, airways, radio, et cetera, et cetera. But I saw, I gathered two major things. One, there's a major problem in the locker room, and then two, you have Maxi actually really coming to his own as a leader, and we're watching that right before our eyes because that's what leaders do, right? They hold other people and themselves as accountable as they can. So um, I think the second part's easy to explain and see that. I think the first part is a little bit different because I didn't see this coming. And now a lot of people are talking about, well, if he was hurt, why did he go to the Olympics? But my thing is, all big stars go to the Olympics. This ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? They all go to the Olympics. They all want to get gold. It's like that. I think that's neither here or there. People are calling him selfish, and he should have got himself healthy for the season. Yo, bro wanted to go win and go play with the best talent in the world. He could have played what, France, I think, or something like that, and he didn't. Why? Because he knew US was going to win, and he wanted to be a part of that.
Mm.
I mean, we questioned, had videos like, was this team as good as the Dream Team, the way they were constructed and in the way that they were playing. So I get that part, but the way we talked about already, the way the whole thing was handled in the beginning of the season with the Sixers and his injuries, how he's still looks like he's not in shape. Now I didn't watch the game today. I know he had a decent game, probably more of an Embiid game. What was like 30 something, 30 and 12 or something like that.
35. Mhm.
Yeah, something like that. So that was more of an Embiid esque game, but I don't know what it looked like. Did it pass the eye test? And I think that his attitude and what we're getting a glimpse of what it looks like behind the scenes of being late all the time, like that's a major issue, dog. Like that's a major issue for your best player, for your captain, for your leader to act like he doesn't give a shit. Especially when you have so many new pieces
Mhm.
on this team when you're trying to rebuild culture. Because it's a new team. It ain't the same team from last year when they had a decent culture. It's a completely new team. So you have to redo that. Now, did you have some of the same pieces that can help you that? You do. But then you have a brand new star in Paul George. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It does
Brand new old star in Paul George.
yeah. right. Um, then you got some new energy from is it McLean?
100%.
Jared McLean? Yeah.
Derek McLean. Yep.
Yep.
I
From
call him
McLean.
Dancing. I call him Dancing McLean.
Danton
Dancing.
McLean. Okay.
Dancing.
So you got some way type of different energy with him. Can
No, that's
play,
true.
can play, but it's different. Probably a little bit different in locker room. You look to your left and you see him set up doing TikTok dances. You know what I'm saying? Like just different energy. So you got to figure it out. You know what I mean? You got to see. You got to bring in that cohesive together. And we all know. You know. I know. People watching know. Basketball. You can't just put stars together and just think it's going to work. It takes time for them to understand how to play with each other, be around each other, hang with each other, et cetera, et cetera. And cats got money too, right? A couple people got paid on the team. Does that change their attitude? That change the way they move. Hey, shit, look at Embiid, Supermax. Oh, I'm the man. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? You know, Oubre got paid. You know what I mean? It has his attitude kind of changed a little bit. You know what I mean?
Maxie.
You know, did Maxie get paid too?
Maxie got paid.
Yeah,
Yep.
Maxie got paid. You know what I mean? So a lot of moving parts, a lot of different things going on in that locker room. I know I kind of monologued and said a lot, but what do you see, bro? Like, what did you see with this call out and trying to look underneath the layers of some of the things that I said? What are you seeing? With this call out and is this a Nick Nurse problem? Is this a Sixers problem? Is it a Philadelphia problem? Right? Because you know, is because there's a lot of problems going on, and I'm not sure about any solutions because they're literally they have the worst record in the NBA.
Yeah. I mean, well. First off, anybody that plays sports, obviously we play sports. This is not norm. This is not unusual for
Facts.
player only when team only meetings.
Yeah. Facts.
And most of those meetings are meetings that are about grievances and calling each other out and forcing a different attitude that need to be jump started within that organization or at least within the team.
Right.
So it's not about what was said in the locker room. I think the only thing that the media kind of ran with was more of the um, idea that we are looking at Embiid, and it seems like a snowball effect of issues that his name continues to keep coming up. Right? It started with I'm not playing back to backs. Like,
Mm,
what are we doing? You got a whole,
mm,
like you said, we got a whole new big three. You got a couple play pieces and players that are coming in. They got to figure out you're the key piece. You are
mm.
the key piece to this offense. You can't not play. How do they get any rhythm? How do you get any chemistry of knowing where you like the ball at, where you're going to pick and pop? Like that's all about chemistry of knowing knowing where your teammates go. How you know? Matter of fact, at the end of the game, excuse me. Matter of fact, at the end of the game, you threw the ball to the corner and turned the ball over because you were probably expecting somebody to be in the corner. But since you're not playing, you have no rhythm.
Mhm.
So I'm not upset about the actual context of the meeting. I want to give salute to Maxie for having the courage and stepping up as a leader. He realized, and we all love Maxie here. Philadelphia fans love Maxie, and I'm really happy that he's like, you know what, this is my team. Like, yo, bro. And if for somebody to say something to somebody, it gotta been bad. It ain't one time you coming late. It ain't like
He
it's
said
an
late
attitude.
for the words are
It's
late for everything.
correct. It's an attitude thing. And
Yeah.
he's looking in the locker room and saying, "Bro, we need you out here. I don't care if you hurt or not. Just you're the face of the franchise. You got Dance McCain out here hooping, but he don't
He
really know what
hooping though.
he hooping. But that's all
Yeah,
he
he's
just
hooping for
because he's a
sure.
hooper. But he don't know what the NBA is about. And when you
Yeah,
look at the leader of the team that's in here lackadaisical or not making the meetings, it sets a tone and a precedent in the locker room that now everybody can kind of do what the fuck they want to do.
exactly.
So I'm a really appreciative of Maxie stepping up and making that comment. I'm just pissed off that it got out. So who's the fucking
Yeah,
snitch?
yeah, yeah. Who's the leak?
Who's the leak?
Yeah, who's the
That's
leak?
the person that need to
That's the
get burnt,
problem.
right?
That's the
That's the
problem.
issue.
Who's the leak? And I can't stand WIP and all these Philadelphia media.
Mhm.
Not like we're already at trading Embiid. That's where we're at. Like
Right.
trading Embiid. Now, to be fair, I think we talked about this probably every year he's gotten hurt in the
Yeah.
playoffs. But you would never get fair value from him. And now that he looks like possibly has the best team he's ever had around him, maybe I guess maybe since that 5 with Jimmy, was Ben on that team too?
Yeah.
Jimmy,
Mhm.
Ben, Reddick.
And
Is that
Tobias.
the Toronto year? The year where they
Mhm.
lost to Toronto?
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, ever since like that year, this might be the best team he's been around, but they got to play together.
But
But
that's what I'm
hey,
saying.
but you might be right. Flag him for Flag, right? Or what's his bull name? Is it
Yes,
Flag? Is
Cooper
it
Cooper Flag, that
Cooper
four piece
Flag?
we might be missing.
Yeah,
I mean,
get another
when I
get
watch
another
this team,
Cooper in here.
it's very difficult to watch this team. Like, they played Memphis without 2 of their stars. Smart didn't play, Ja Morant didn't play, their backup center didn't play, who was a top pick in the NBA draft. They they just don't have the energy, nor do they have the cohesiveness within the team, and you can see it on the field, on the court. So my thing, I'm looking at Embiid. I just think I think he's burnt out. I think Embiid is burnt
Like
out.
when you say burnt out, like
I think
Sixers burnt out.
I think he's basketball burnt out. I don't know what needs to rejuvenate
Mm,
him. I think he's just basketball burnt out because that's the only way you're acting this way, right? Late to meetings, don't look like you're enthused about basketball. Like, he just don't. It looks like he's lost the love of the game. I'm not. I'm now. This is just my opinion. I'm not speaking for him. I'm telling you what it looks like. And yeah, PG did get hurt again
you heard
by the
the
same
say. I think
hyperextended knee.
yeah. I just read it's the same knee. He
Yeah.
hyperextended it again.
So I just think that and when you have your leader that's just not engaged, it just melts throughout the whole locker room. And Maxey's the spirit that's trying to say, like, bro, I'm out here ready to play. I'm out here running up and down the court. But there's only 2 people I can really see that's showing the energy, and that's Maxey and McCain. They're the only 2 players that actually you can see doing something in the court or looking like they're doing it at a fast rate.
Well,
Um,
losing sucks, and being this bad sucks. So I'm pretty sure the morale of the team is no good. And I like Nick, right? I think Nurse is
yeah,
somewhat
I
of a
do too.
decent coach. But they're gonna have to figure it out. And it looks like Paul George, like Don put up there, Paul George is gonna be out for, I would
Jesus.
assume, an extended period of time. And then they had, I guess Maxey was on minutes restriction because I'm looking at the
Mhm.
stat line. He only played 19 minutes. I mean, McLean played 40 minutes. Oubre had 22. That one cat was it? I think this is the guy from France, right? They picked up
Yep,
Besso,
the
or
one that dunked on LeBron.
did he?
That's how he got the job.
Is that how he? Oh, yeah, that's right. He did do it in.
In a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.